Hello, my name is Jessica Vasquez, and I'm going to do some diabetic teaching with the people in Wicks, Arkansas today. Thank you all for being here. We have had about 19 people here. This is day one of the diabetic teaching. You've all turned in your list of medications and what you do to manage your diabetes now, kind of things you do like diet, exercise, anything like that. You've all had your blood drawn so we can see what your blood glucoses are today. And we also drew a hemoglobin A1C, which will tell us what you've ran over about the past 3 months. At the end of this entire section, we will redo your lab work and see. The 3-month thing may not have changed, but you'll notice a change in your daily blood glucose checks. And that consists of day one. Day two, everybody gets a glucometer. I got these from where I work. We get them at cost for 1 cent, so I've been able to purchase several, and you all have your own, and it comes with the Lancet sticker here and your strips and a machine. And depending on your doctor and the type of diabetes that you have, type 1 or type 2, you would check your sugar differently. Some check more often than others. According to the Mayo Clinic, your doctor recommends 4 to 8 times a day if you have type 1 diabetes. You need to test before all your meals and your snacks. You may need to test before and after exercise also. And also you want to check it before bedtime. People have a tendency to get a low blood glucose level at night. That's why we ask you to have a snack late. If you're a type 2 diabetic, they usually recommend that you check your blood sugar 2 or more times a day, depending on the amount of insulin that you take. With type 2, they recommend before meals and sometimes before bedtime. Some people with type 2 diabetes don't just check their blood sugar daily. It all depends on how controlled your diabetes is. You'll learn here that the more you learn about your diet and exercise and the more you change your lifestyle, your glucose readings will get better and better and better, and you may be able to cut back on medication. Everybody wants to try to use their monitor. Just pull out a little strip here. The end with the little slit in it is the part you enter into the machine. And it'll immediately pop up a strip showing it's ready for a drop of blood. So everybody just pokes their finger, get the blood on the strip, and it'll beep. And then it'll count down for about 5 to 6 seconds. And then it'll give you a reading. I've given everybody one of these log sheets here. Anytime that you check your sugar, we'll need to know, write down the time and what your glucose reading was. This is going to help us keep up with how much it improves, the progress you make. You're going to have good days, you're going to have bad days, but let's try to stick to what we're doing here. Just log them all in there. We'll go over diets later, but make sure everybody's got one of these, and I can make extra copies if you need more. And that consists of day 2. Day 3, we're going to go over exercise and how important it is for your body with having diabetes. It is to exercise. Health.com says you should aim for about 30 minutes at least 5 days a week. If you are not used to exercising or you're not very active, you can start out slower than that, get 2 days in, then the next week try to do 3. You can build yourself up if that's what you have to do. It could be anything that makes your heart rate go up, anything that gets your heart rate going. Even, just a little bit of sweat. Walking is what most people do. Just a good brisk walk for 30 minutes. If you're out working in your yard, that counts as exercise. You don't have to do another 30-minute walk on top of that. So it's whatever you're physically able to do. And most people are able to just get up and walk, and that's the easiest thing there is. If you can get a good 30 minutes in at least 3 to 5 times a week. So day 4, we won't be meeting until after the weekend's over. So during the weekend, I want you to spend those days really focusing on getting your exercise in. Try to eat healthy. We'll go over the correct portion sizes and stuff when we return. But just try to eat healthy and keep up with your blood sugar checks. Write it all down. Even you can start writing your meals down and do it all over the weekend, or you can start once we start back. But either way, get your glucose levels down, add your meals in there if you can, and work on getting exercise added to your daily life, okay? That consists of day 3. On day 4, we'll go over your documentation, what you've listed as your sugar so far, what your readings are getting, and see if there's any improvement from day 1 to day 4. Day 4, we're going over diabetic diet plan and portion control and correct portion sizes. Diet is very important in managing your diabetes. According to the Medline Plus, healthy eating keeps your blood sugar at its target range, and it's a critical part of managing your diabetes. The better you control your diabetes, the less complications you'll have that are caused from diabetes. Some serving size portions here. I gave everybody a little handout here about portion size. Just if you don't know, like we say, an ounce of this or an ounce of that, we're going to kind of compare it to things that you're familiar with. Such as, you know, if you do meat, fish, or poultry, 3 ounces, that'd be about the size of the palm of your hand. That's about 3 ounces. If you like to eat cheese, you need to eat about 1 ounce at a time, which is about the size of your thumb. So you can measure the size of your thumb. If you ever have bread, it's just 1 slice. Milk, yogurt, fresh vegetables is 1 cup, so you just get a measuring cup. Or you can go by, it's about the size of a tennis ball. Rice or cooked pasta is 1/3 of a cup. And you'll realize once you start seeing what an actual portion size is good for you, compare it to what you've been usually eating, and you'll notice that it's probably a bigger portion size than you should have been eating, and so we need to change that and get that correct portion size in. Eating the correct amount daily is very important. You want to eat a variety of foods, and vegetables, whole grains, fruits, non-fat dairy foods, lean meats, meat substitutes, and try not to eat too much food or too much of the same type of food. Kind of get a variety here. I also gave you guys a pyramid here of how many servings you should have of these. That'll help you out a lot too. You can also get on Google at any time and Google a diabetic diet plan and get recipes that are good for diabetics. Any of that works. So when you leave from day 4, continue to do your glucose monitoring checks. Write all those down. Your meal plans, you want to keep up with that. What you've ate. That's basically all we need to write down. You don't have to give me a portion size and tell me that you ate this. You can say I ate 3 ounces of meat, a cup of vegetables, this, and then make sure you put the times down that you eat and the glucose check before that. Also, being a diabetic, you don't want to eat like 3 huge meals a day. You want to space it out. Eat 3 balanced meals, and you need snacks in between depending on what your sugar is. I mean, some people drop, but I would go no more than 4 or 5 hours without eating. Now, once you go to bed, that's fine. It's just in the daytime when you're up, every 4 to 5 hours, you want to eat something. And it doesn't have to be an entire meal. So, like, you could eat your breakfast and then later eat a snack and then eat your lunch and then eat your supper and maybe a snack before bedtime, depending, especially if you take insulin, because a lot of people that are on insulin they'll drop at night, and if you get a snack before you go to bed, that tends to not happen as much. It could, but if you've had problems with that in the past and you haven't been having a snack, that's probably what it is. That consists of day 4. So for the next 2 weeks, you will exercise daily, monitor your glucose checks as many times as you normally do, or if your doctor recommends a certain amount of time, just go ahead and do that. Make sure you write them all down, the times that you do it, along with all of your meals. And on the back of that paper, you can add, you know, if you just want to jot down on the back of it where it's blank, on what days you exercised or what you did, how long you did it, and we'll see what kind of progress you make. I'm telling you, we'll all feel better, feel healthier once you get this under control. And that's the end of part 1.